Welcome to this edition of Wealth Without Borders podcast. And today I'm delighted to have with me Raquel Ramirez. Welcome to the show, Raquel.
Hi, thank you so much, Howard. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. And I always ask this, Raquel, whereabouts are you in the world and what is the weather like today?
I am in the panda city of Chengdu, China. And today the weather is fantastic. Often enough, people who know Chengdu, we don't have a lot of sunlight during the winter. And today there's so much sunlight. So it's a great day.
Oh, fantastic. Well, enjoy the sunshine and potentially the pandas. So those of you who don't know Raquel, she's got an 18-year background in the public, private and international sectors. And that includes prominent roles held in the Mexican Foreign Ministry to the United Nations. And she's known actually as a keynote speaker globally, including in the USA, Mexico, Switzerland, and here in China. So a warm welcome to the show. And I'm really looking forward to this podcast. The title is How to Go Further Faster, which I was just saying I need myself. So hoping to pick up some good tips. So are you ready to rock, Raquel, in 8 minutes?
So ready.
Okay, fantastic. So 8 minutes to go. Question number 1, who is your ideal client?
Well, Howard, my ideal client is a passionate, motivated, ambitious female entrepreneur, businesswoman, and professional, but ultimately the woman who wants to go further faster.
Fantastic. 7 minutes, 39 remaining. Question number 2, what is this problem you solve for those women?
So the problem that I want to respond to is the gap between what women are achieving today and what women can be achieving. Often we talk about the limitations and challenges that women face in the workplace, and they are very real for sure. However, I find that less often we talk about the tangible steps that women can take to be more intentional and strategic in their growth and in achieving their goals. I have seen, Howard, that the right insight, support, and guidance, what that can do for a women. And really, truly, they prosper beyond their own expectations. What women are more likely to do are, for example, to be more bold when they're feeling supported. They feel that they can take more risks with the right guidance. And finally, and ultimately, they will be much more likely to succeed if they invest and bet on themselves.
Fantastic. Well, that's really great advice, even in just the first couple of minutes. So 6 minutes, 23 remaining. Question number 3, what are the typical symptoms that women experiencing this problem have?
Such a good question. I find that often women are feeling overwhelmed, unseen, unheard, a lot of times unsupported, or with the lack of having strategies on how to achieve their goals. Oftentimes, the uncertainty causes insecurity. But I think more importantly, and it really is a feeling about feeling systematically disadvantaged in the workplace.
Right. Well, that is a heap of massive problems, in fact. 5 minutes, 40 to go. Question number 4. What are the common mistakes that women make when they're trying to solve this problem by themselves?
That's a wonderful question. And when women are trying to solve this on their own, I view it as taking the slower path, trying to figure out what other women have already figured out. So I believe that one of the mistakes is not asking for help, being afraid to be vulnerable, but ultimately and more fundamentally, the mistake of not actively seeking a mentor or a coach.
Right. Fantastic. 4 minutes, 55 remaining. Question number 5. What's one valuable free action that people checking out the show today can implement that will help them to solve some, if not all, of that problem?
Well, I think that the beginning of solving this problem is consolidating a self-awareness. So for me, I want to recommend for all of our audience, the Truity organization. They give free personality tests and career assessments. And I encourage people to get clear on their strengths and talents and start honing them today.
Fantastic. That's a great resource. 4 minutes, 15 remaining. Question number 6. What's one valuable free resource that you can direct women or people to that will further help with that problem?
Well, I'm excited to announce that I will have a 3-day free masterclass in December, and people can sign up through email or an Instagram link. And we will be talking about how to get the top 6 skills in order to improve your career.
Fantastic. It sounds like a great masterclass, and we'll put the link into the podcast. 3 minutes, 37 remaining. Question number 7. What concept or book or program or talk has been most impactful in your experience, Raquel?
Thank you. Well, with the purpose of trying to give the most value possible, I actually went through each one. So the first one, the concept that I think was a great milestone in my learning was learning about emotional intelligence, for sure. The book is a fantastic book by Dr. Lois P. Frankel, and it's called Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. I very much recommend it to all women who just want to get clear on all of the typical mistakes that we make, no matter our nationality, no matter where we live in the world, what company or industry we work for. These are common ground for most women. So very highly recommended. In terms of programs, so many amazing programs, but the mentorship program that I participated in was a huge milestone in my life and a crossroads that started RR Consulting for her, when I realized that women need more support and uplifting, be able to succeed in a much faster way. And ultimately, what talks, so many amazing talks in the world, thanks be to goodness, but I would focus in on the TEDx women's talks. So many incredible women sharing so many meaningful, impactful messages. And I just want to add on to that. Also, there's an amazing organization. It's called Female Quotient. And they also are having the conversation of women in the workplace that is extremely purposeful. So I want to recommend that to all of our audience.
Great. Well, that was a quintuple-packed value in there. So thank you. 1 minute, 46 remaining. Question number 8. What's the one question that I should have asked you that I didn't, that you feel would give great value to our audience? And what's the answer to that question?
So I thought about this often. I said, which way should we bring this? And I think that the question should be, what meaningful advice I can share today with our audience? And I'm choosing a couple topics. The first topic, again, which I think is the fundamental ground to build on, is self-awareness. So I encourage women to become aware of their patterns and their power to choose a different way to respond to the different situations that they face. I want to encourage women in knowing better how to support each other in a much more impactful way. And I would say, vouch for her, recommend her, speak well of her when she is not in the room. And finally, encourage her to be bold, to take those steps and to invest in herself. And this is a topic that's often talked about, is how do we, as women, make our presence felt in different conference room? And for me, there are many steps, but I chose just one tidbit, which would be ready to be between the first and the third person to speak when you're in the meeting, because this creates an impression of being confident and having something of value and importance to say. And finally, I would really love to wrap this up by sharing the importance and truly the impact that using affirmations in overcoming our difficulties can be. And just know that your mistakes don't define you, the lessons do.
That's it. Fantastic. Your mistakes don't define you. What a great way to conclude. Wow, you've just absolutely jam-packed that 8 minutes with massive value. So thank you so much, Raquel. I'm sure not only the women, but certainly I'm going to just speak for the men. We could all benefit from many aspects of those valuable tips and tricks and thoughts and ideas. Thank you so much.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Many thanks for checking out Wealth Without Borders podcast. I'd love you to head over to iTunes, subscribe, and leave us a review. And if you'd be kind enough to do that, I would really appreciate it. And then if you want to know more about what I do, check out wealthwithoutborders.net.